All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I've said it every time I've made this one. I have to say it again. This is a rough one to make. All right, there are some things that very you can say are messed up to trade, right? I don't know what the other word is, right? But there's a hard line between ethics and trading. Personally, I don't mind crossing it. I will trade whatever is set up. I've joked that if there was a ticker out there that the only way they made money was to insult the chart readers and insult all my videos and my voice and all my calls, and like they have posters, chart reader sucks. If that's all they did, but they just broke the 200 and they're ready to fly, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy the ticker for sure, right? This is kind of one of those, and I think this one's a lot more messed up than my silly little analogy, right? Like this is actually, you know, making money on pain and suffering. And again, I'm not here to judge, but I'm not here pretending that's not what this is, right? But a couple things I mentioned on the Discord HUBC. I actually practiced this. I opened this up and I checked this. So I mentioned it, and it really was when they crossed into Beirut. All right. Again, I'm not here to talk about politics. I'm not here to talk about my opinions on this, that, and those. I'm just here to talk about charts, right? But I talk about breaking a line, and yeah, once they crossed that line into the other country, I kind of thought it was going to get interesting. And hey, lo and behold, since the 29th and 30th and so forth, it's been picking up because let's be honest, things are getting louder, right? The other thing, and it came from the Discord. I forgot about oil. And look, we talked about oil. Someone was talking about Oxy, and I know OXY didn't do as good as like Indo and the other ones, right? And I actually talk a little bit about CEI, IMPP. I saw HUSA. We'll talk about that one later, right? But oil is the other half of these war stocks, right? Like we are very much conscious of trying to switch to EV, this, that, and those. Listen, oil makes the earth move around, all right? And until that completely changes, you gotta believe when there's tension in the region where most of the oil comes from, that's probably a good place to look, right? So we're gonna be looking at HUBC, INDO, HUSA, and I'm gonna quickly just look at CEI and IMPP. Neither of these two look good, but again, generally when INDO moves, those two do as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, excited to talk about all of these and more. But before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our five moving averages. There's none, right? Yeah, they're all the way up here. They're kind of irrelevant right now. I will draw some new horizontal support and resistance lines down here where we're at. And then once we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here and giving me your time, oh, I am so grateful for it. All right, so again, HUBC. Listen, the last thing I want to talk about is politics. The last thing I want to talk about is anything other than the stock market and charts and technical analysis, right? I've always believed that I mean, it's not even just me saying this. I promise you, other smarter people have said the same thing. The stock market doesn't always reflect life. All right. I think the easiest thing to say is like I've seen gas prices go up at my neighborhood, gas station, but oil goes down. You know what I mean? And the economy is tough for so many people. The market's been like going up except for these last like couple weeks, right? So, the market doesn't always reflect it. One thing that I think supersedes that is war. All right. And war is two things. Number one is war is profitable. All right. And that's so messed up to say, but I mean, I'm not even covering them, but Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Boeing. I know most people think about like regular flights and regular 747. Boeing makes a lot of like war is profitable. A bomb costs more than the nicest home on the top of a Beverly Hills hill. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where war moves money. The second thing is war stops money. War stops normal trade flows. War makes things expensive and too expensive to continue buying. There is a lot that comes with it. And we've always seen disruption in the Middle East. I don't know how else to say that in an educated and classy way, right? But yeah, it feels like things are escalating quickly, and it just seems like more and more countries are now starting to get involved, and that's where escalations come quickly. I think I saw something that something happened to a U.S. base somewhere. I don't want to throw out the comment incorrectly before I like check it right, but yeah, there are things actively happening. All right. I very much think HUBC is a shady trap stock. All right, and we talk about that in the Discord. I'm gonna show you why first, and then we'll talk about the actual. Look at this thing, right? Like this is a downtrend to say the least. All right, this thing has only been over the 100 moving average for about a 1 month window since it was created and since it lost it, right? So the attempt that we're about to talk about, this break of the 100, look, that's not an easy thing to do, and we see it just tried and failed not that long ago. All right. um where is HU? Right here. Someone taught like it's a pump and dump trap, and I'm not saying that. And look, I'm actually in it. I never say what I'm holding. I don't want you to think, oh, the chart reader dude's in it. I probably should too. Like I've been in it since that 30th, and so far so good, right? I have some room for this thing to come down, and I'll still be okay, right? So always keep that in mind when you're watching someone's opinions, right? But right now the this thing is tied to Israel. It just is, right? And right now we're at a place where we're trying to break the 50, and I'm zooming out for a reason. This is the entire 2024 year, right? We have literally seen one, two, three good candles. Clearly, a couple other ones were over it, right, in this April to May window. But this is a doji. I don't even think that should count as one of the three. That is one good candle. That is for sure one good candle. And the rest are just little either red days, fake bad green days, right? Like I don't like these green filled in candles, right? Look in the box over there. This opens at $1.50 and then drops all the way down to $1.30. More people lost more than 10% on this day than they gained the 5% that you see when I click into it, right? So like these are not good. So that blue line is no joke, and really this red line is no joke. All right, this is a good candle, and I like that this is the good first one, right? So I see after hours coming down a little bit. Believe me, the last thing I generally care about is after hours, right? But this is an interesting make me believe. And one thing that I like, just look at this window, right? We attempt it, fail, attempt it. I call this a fail because there was no confirmation, and I'll go over that shortly, right? But between April and now, there was a good couple week attempt right here. There was a recent one right here. It didn't go well, but hey, it was an attempt, right, in this late June moment. And then really one, two, three, four. The last 5 days have been attempting it. Wick over it, wick over it, wick over it. Actually open over it, but come down. Another wick. Today closes, right? So that 50's taking a beating, right? And you can only attack an area so many times before it loses it, and that's what we're looking for right now, right? Why didn't I like, where was it? This one. Why didn't I like this? Look, let's talk about this one first, because this is the first, and I said it. This is the one good candle right there. That is not confirmation. Okay, this for sure goes up, but again, I talk about it. These green filled in one. This one opens at 140. This one drops to 130. I don't like that. This is a good candle for sure, and this is a good candle that got us over the 100 for sure. This doesn't confirm. We quickly lose it because we never confirm the 50. We just fall right below it like a hot knife through butter. Try to get over it one more time, but definitely couldn't. And again, we're right back to where we are right now, right? So hopefully things are getting better on the 50. But again, right behind it is the 100 moving average. And really, this is the money line. If you're not in right now, I would maybe consider waiting until this broke, because if 92 cents, that's what I'm looking at, 92 cents breaks, man, you can see my next line's up. So I'm actually not going to draw another line. Like this blue line is the line, right? Um, I can see us, and again, we're actually there after hours right now, right? But I can see this coming down and closing around here, around 82 cents. It's basically half of today, and you can see it's actually the top of this guy and basically half of this guy, right? So this 82-cent after hour actually makes a lot of sense. Again, I don't care about after hours. I care about regular hours. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for one of two things. either tomorrow we come up to here to 92 cents and basically try to confirm this 50, or we come back down to this 82 cents and fail the 50 like it's seen a couple times, right? I like the MACD. It's actually sitting at zero. It's been negative for a long time, and that's good divergence, green over red right there. It's actually the same green over red I see on the RSI, and that's a healthy 66. And really, since that 29/30th that I talked about HUBC, right? HUBC. That 29/30th right there, those are the days we actually started to break that 50-day average as well, right? So good things happen when you can get over the average of volume, and you can see it's actually been nicer volume than otherwise, right? Like these 2 days not the best. It looks like they were flipping. They bought and they sold. These 2 days not the best. They bought but they sold more. This is a nice 2 days. This is the first two decent days, and again, all of them have been over the line, right? So tomorrow is going to be real important on this. I think the last thing I want to do real quickly, yeah, where is it? Right here, right? Let's get their calculator out. So I would love, let's back this up a little bit. Oh man, yeah, we've been here. What are you? 18's too high. Let's take 12. I would love 12.5. Oops. Is my numlock closed? There we go. 12.5 million shares in the 7-hour day. I'm going to divide that by 7. I'm looking for basically 2 million shares in that first hour. You can say around 3 to 4 million in that second hour, right? And really, if I can get that in 2 hours, the whole day to day was basically that, right? So getting to 12 would be really big. And again, you can see it. We've actually been here a couple times. We did it on this day, we did it on this day, and obviously even more on those days, right? So on the weekly, really quickly, again, that 90 cent jumps out one more time. You can see the average 20 on the weekly sitting at 92 cents. On the daily, the 100 is basically sitting at the exact same point at 92 cents, right? So if you're not in, I would probably wait for that 92. Hey, maybe even try to get back in if it comes down to 78-ish or maybe even that like 80 range. But yeah, for me, I like to buy on the up, not on the down. And yeah, let's break this, and 115, 140-ish, and 170-ish are kind of my next lines up, right? But don't think this high yet until that 90 breaks, and we talked about how hard that's going to be. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. My goodness, what a monster day on Indo right here, all right? So I didn't really see much news. Let me know if there was actually anything Indo specific on this thing. But I mean, I'm just looking at green, red, green, right? So I'll talk about the spacing between the moving averages as well, right? But hey, real quick, if you can subscribe, if you can share, oh, it does wonders with these algorithms, all right? So big day, and really the first thing I got to look at is volume, all right? So let's click on this day, okay? I can see, oh my goodness, that's a lot lower than I expected. So only a couple days ago, on July 26th, the volume was as low as 44,000 shares in the day. It's obviously been getting a little bit bigger the last 3 days, and then today got crazy, right? But what was, yeah, 4 days ago, excuse me, horrible math. We were under a million. We were at 840. The day after, we got to 1.4 million. On Friday, we saw 700K. Let's just round up. Today, we saw 44 million shares. I can't do the math in my head that fast, but oh man, that is a monster. Is it 50x if I'm doing the math right? If we're going, yeah, I think so. I don't know. Regardless, right? If you're going from 700K, let's even call it that 1.4 if you want, right? Going from the 1.4 to 44 is almost a 30-ish x move, right? So big volume, and this is going to dictate what happens tomorrow, right? Are we going to pump and dump? Are we going to come back to volume reality and get a little closer to like 8 million-ish? Or can we hold, all right? And I just ended the last one with the trusty calculator. We're going to bring out the trusty calculator one more time. The bare minimum volume I'm willing to accept tomorrow is 36 million shares. All right, again, we had 44 million today, right? So that's a pretty big drop down to 36, right? So if I'm looking at a 7-hour trading day, we need at least 5 million shares, bare minimum on the volume. What I would love What I would love is 50 million shares. More volume than today, right? A little more than 10% volume today, right? In that same 7 hour day, we want a little closer to 7 million shares, right? So in a 2 hour window, in those first 2 hours of trading, we're looking for anywhere between 10 to 14 million shares, all right? And really, 10 is very, very low still. We want a lot closer to like 12, 13, 14, right? Give or take, okay? That's on the volume side because, again, this is the definition of pump and dump, right? When you're down here, all of a sudden up here, I started this video by saying I don't think I saw any real news that said this is the day we should bring all the volume here, right? The one advantage this thing had was the spacing between these lines, all right? One thing I talk about is a channel. A channel is nothing more than spacing between the lines. Sometimes, let me zoom out if I have one. Sometimes it's between horizontal lines that I draw. Sometimes it's between moving averages and the next horizontal I draw. It can also be between the moving averages themselves, right? And we very much gap up over the 8 and the 20. This is the only little horizontal. Watch, let me zoom out a little bit. You can see this horizontal lines up with this little horizontal. This is the only moment that is not green, 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 green. There's another horizontal right here. Red, 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 right? So this really was the only line. From there, we went from 270 all the way to both of these. Once we got over the 100, what did it do? It broke all five and flew, right? I got that word stuck in my mouth. But right now, I'm telling you, it's two things related. Number one, there is war, and war that is connected to the place that oil supply to, right? I ended the Discord. It looks like there's a couple more convos. Give me 1 second. CEI, IMPP, and HUSA, right? Whenever I see INDO move, those are kind of the four that just jump in my head, right? CEI did not have a very good day, actually. I'm a little surprised it didn't, but hey, obviously this one was under all the moving averages and falling down. You can see Indo was at least kind of trying to stay here, right? Nonetheless, I don't know why that one deserved it today and this one didn't, right? If CEI was to start to become a consideration, I think I would want it. That's a little lower, I think. You might as well just wait for this. I would wait for 13 cents. I think if 13 cents breaks, that should be, oh man, that's a heavy 13 cents. Yeah, if 14 cents hits, it should actually be a pretty nice climb to 17. I would call 14 cents my money line there. Another one that didn't do well that I thought might have IMPP is IMPP. All right. Again, same kind of concept. This one was on its way down. This one definitely had a decent day though. You can see that this one opens down here at 340 and actually closes all the way up here at almost 370, right? So there was actually a decent 10% gain that most people made, even though we're looking at an almost -2 candle itself, right? If this thing can get over that 100 moving average, I think right here, let's get to the top of this guy. I think 372. I actually might even set that alert. 373. Give me the penny over. Why not? I think if we hit 373, I think there's a decent shot at that 390 line. Three moving averages right there. That will not be easy to break, but I mean, the momentum here might be strong enough to take it and copy what Indo did, all right? HUSA did have a decent day, and again, that's one of the ones that I think about. Again, we see the same jump from well under a million all the way to almost 4 million, right? Not the same 50x number, but I mean, that's what it looks like. I zoom out, little baby, little baby, little baby pump. Are we going to dump or are we going to continue, right? This one's a pretty easy one to call. If we get over the 200 moving average, we're coming to this 190, right? Like, look at this line right here. At this line, green, 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 red, 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 nothing, 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 green, 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 green is what I would expect. And really, that's a nice RSI. That's a nice MACD in the positive. That's a nice RSI. Volume, volume, volume. All right. We do not want to drop back to the realities of 600K. We want to maintain this 4 million plus, right? So I'm going to set an alert actually. Let's see if I can find a good green candle to set a better alert. That's a little high. What's your half? That's a good number. 158. I think $1.58 is a good alert for HUSA to continue. Again, I'm not here pretending these are messed up to trade, right? I'm just here saying I'll trade whatever, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Please don't judge. Please don't talk politics. Oh, I appreciate you so, so much.